Welcome to another video on narcissism. In this video, we are going to be discussing something known as covert narcissism, or is also known as vulnerable narcissism. So this particular form of narcissism is the hardest to detect, right? Because it's not so obvious, and they have a very different way of doing things, right, for their personal gains. So a covert narcissist is as self-absorbed, as non-empathetic, or as entitled, as other narcissists, but they do it under the umbrella of victimhood. So a covert narcissist might, always do things low-key, right? They might say things like, I guess I just don't have, I'm not as rich as, all of my friends, right? I'm not as materially well off as the rest of my relatives, but that's only because, I had a tough childhood, I had a rough past, right? If I had a normal past, if I had a normal childhood, I would have done better than them, but, this is the card, this is the hand I was dealt, So they might, again, masquerade, right, as victims all the time, right? And they're very selfish, right? They might appear very vulnerable. They're the eternal victims, right? Covert narcissists are always, victims of the circumstances around them. They, again, like other narcissists, have a hard time taking any responsibility or any accountability, right? They can never be held accountable. Everything wrong that has happened to them in their life is because of circumstances and the other people who have wronged them, right? They'll always have stories, that's the central theme, right, of their being, right, as to how they are, the poor victims of, the cruel life, right? So yeah, that is them, right? And they might also, again, they are as bad as other narcissists, right? As a matter of fact, they might even condemn, right, or appear more morally superior, right, just out of jealousy, right? So let's say they have a friend or a relative who just purchased a nice car for themselves, right? And if they look at that, they might say things like, look at him, he's so materialistic, right? Just because you're rich does not mean that, you're a good person, right? There's more to life than materialistic pursuits, right? Or they might just end up calling you greedy, right? Or they might end up calling you materially driven, right? Someone who just does not care about other aspects of life. So they find a way to criticize the achievements of others, by appearing morally superior and making you look morally inferior, right? So again, covert narcissists, it can take you some time to identify them, because they are not like your typical grandiose narcissists, right? They're not over the top. They're very subtle, right? They're very subtle in the way they do things, right? And more often than not, you will find such narcissists, and you might even be confused by such narcissists. Okay, you might even think that they're not a narcissist because because they appear like victims. But truth be told, even they might have a tendency to twist the details of their past or their history to make them appear like the victims of circumstances, right? So this is another classic one, right? They might actually, hijack a whole conversation, right? Let's say you're discussing something very upbeat. If you're discussing something very, something happy, right? They might hijack the conversation like every other narcissist does by, bringing up something very sad from their past, and, suddenly now you end up consoling them. They are crying, and everyone is trying to console them or make them feel better, and, everyone thinks of them as the victim, and everyone feels sorry for them, and that is where they derive their soft power from, right, by appearing victim, right? So this is another very what do you say, a very pathetic kind of a narcissism, right, where they gain attention, right, by appearing victim or appearing very victim-like or appearing weak, right, and they depend on other people. So they derive their power from like other people consoling them, or other people feeling bad for them, or other people wanting to do things for them, right? Yeah. So that would be covert narcissism.